Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Um, my name is Mike Gewerk, and I'll be bringing you up to date on our upcoming storms and flooding situation. I'm working with Sean Poulos, who is working on the cold weather aspect of it, which we have to deal with starting on Sunday. I know it's New Year's Eve, and a lot of people are probably normally off today. So I appreciate you taking the time to join us, and tried to get it done early today in case we had any storms develop this afternoon, which is a possibility. Again, thank you, and appreciate everyone's cooperation, and you've been good partners with us through this very active December. The primary thing that's going to affect almost everybody is heavy rain with this event. Here is a graphic showing forecast storm totals. This is brand new from pretty much, we took it from the Weather Prediction Center. If you've been paying attention, the amounts have been fluctuating quite a bit. They've yo-yoed a little bit, but the general theme has been between 1.5 and 4 inches. The latest model runs from this morning came up on the storm totals a little bit and back up close to what they were yesterday, but don't focus too much on the exact numbers. The main thing we want to bring to your attention is the potential for training thunderstorms. And as many of you well know, when we have training storms, you can have isolated very high amounts, higher than the averages. So this graphic here is showing what we expect for average amounts. This is for the period from tonight through the day tomorrow. And essentially a nearly stationary front will be right along that axis of heaviest rainfall amounts. And that's what's going to be focusing the rainfall. So having said that, even though average amounts would be in the 2 to 4 inch range, we wouldn't be at all surprised to see a few amounts in the 4 to 5 inch range where training thunderstorms occur. Those would be isolated, but there will be amounts probably a little above this. The front's going to be south of the Mount Vernon area, so we do not have a flood watch up there. Looks like, although there will be some heavy rain, it won't be near as heavy as further south. So the timing appears to be mainly from late tonight through tomorrow. We do have high confidence that heavy rain will occur region-wide, and that, of course, could result in some flooding, mainly low-lying and poor drainage areas. We also have a severe weather threat. This is the day one outlook from the Storm Prediction Center, and the highest risk is basically from western Kentucky southward. There is somewhat of a cap in place, so we haven't had much. There were a few strong thunderstorms earlier today over toward Clarksville, Tennessee, that moved east of our area. If the cap is able to break and we do get some storms later this afternoon or this evening, the shear is definitely there for some severe weather potential. So it's something to keep an eye on this afternoon. The main thing is we don't really have much to initiate storms till later on this evening. But if storms do develop, there is the potential for some large hail or damaging winds. But this is a kind of a low confidence situation. It's a low end potential. And that would be pretty much any time this afternoon into tonight. So as far as the back to the heavy rain threat, as I mentioned, the flood watch is in effect for almost the entire area except up along I-64. Marginal risk covers much of southern Illinois through tonight. During the day tomorrow, the graphic on the right shows the risk of excessive rainfall increases. In the red shaded areas, moderate risk that covers pretty much all of western Kentucky and extreme southeast Missouri. And the risk kind of tapers off to the northwest. But I already showed you the rainfall potential, and there's the potential for training storms, as I mentioned, which would cause some isolated, very high amounts. Now, as far as our severe weather outlook for tomorrow, day 2, Saturday, the Storm Prediction Center has expanded the enhanced risk area a little bit northward into parts of western Kentucky. The probabilities are obviously highest south. The enhanced risk just kind of, clips parts of western Kentucky. But if you remember the briefing on Wednesday, I was telling you the uncertainty was how far the front would go. And if the frontal timing was slow, it would allow warmer and more humid air to come up into western Kentucky. If we had a faster frontal timing coming through during the morning, that would cut off that supply of moist and unstable air. Well, the models are finally in better agreement, enough that we can give you some details now and explain that the enhanced risk is further north because the frontal timing has slowed down a little bit. So that should allow enough unstable air this far north. Exactly how far north is, we can't pin it down to individual counties, but it looks like confidence is a little bit higher, especially along the Tennessee border, that we will have enough instability for more organized type of severe weather. The main item that the Storm Prediction Center is highlighting is QLCS potential or score line potential, basically, as opposed to supercell development. We're thinking that a squall line could develop over the extreme southeast part of Missouri into far west Kentucky around midday, and then race eastward across western Kentucky during the afternoon. The primary hazard would be damaging winds, but a few tornadoes would be possible. We'll have a tremendous amount of wind shear. In this case, the direction of the winds will be more parallel to the front, so we're thinking squall lines are more likely than supercells at this point. Again, the highest severe threat as far as timing appears to be from late in the morning when it will probably develop in the Mississippi Valley area, south or southwest of Paducah, and then race eastward across western Kentucky through the afternoon. And then it should all be out of here by about 5 p.m. Here is a simulated radar image just to show you the timing, a general idea of the timing. Don't take this literally because it's basically a rough estimate of where and when the precip will be. But what I'm trying to show you here, the main idea is that we're expecting a band of heavy rainfall to lift northward. This is for late tonight, early tomorrow morning, about 5 a.m. There should be a band of heavy rain and thunderstorms along up front. Should be somewhere in the vicinity of the Kentucky-Tennessee border, and it will be lifting northward. Once we get into the middle and late morning hours, we expect widespread heavy rain along a nearly stationary front right across the Ohio Valley area. Don't take this literally. The rain may still be going gangbusters all the way down to the Tennessee border. The idea here is that we're going to have widespread heavy rain in the morning and that the front will be nearly stationary. And then in the afternoon, as the front starts making southeastward progress, the idea here is to show you that basically a linear type of thunderstorm system could develop and push eastward across Kentucky. Don't take this verbatim, but the idea is that the squall line will be moving east and should be out of here by about, should be east of the Hopkinsville area by about 4 or 5 p.m. So that is the thinking right now. And if that's not enough for you, behind the front, temperatures will be taking a nosedive. And Sean Poulos is doing this part of the forecast, but essentially wind chills will be wind chill values will make it feel about 50 to 60 degrees colder than it is right now, going from near 70 degrees today to wind chills, in the teens on Sunday morning. So that will be definitely a high impact for certain folks, especially those who are in tornado affected areas that have decided not to have, decided to stay home despite not having any heat. This may be accompanied by some light wintry precipitation. That's a low confidence thing, but there could be some minor snow accumulations across parts of the region, mainly on Sunday. And that's all I've got. Sean is also in on this. Do you have anything to add, Sean?
No, I think you covered it, at least as far as I can tell, Mike.